Storm Nation. I'm Steve Kloempken. I'm Vice President of Product Development here at Storm. But one of the best parts of my job is having the opportunity to test and evaluate and be a part of the research and development of new products here. So whether it's a new core technology, a new cover stock, this is one of the best parts of my job without a doubt. And I'm really excited to bring some of the new technology that you're going to see here in the DNA, specifically the cover stock. It's our new EXO solid reactive cover stock. It's our strongest blend to date. It's actually more aggressive than even our NEX material, which was our previously most aggressive cover stock. And why the name EXO? Well, really it's short for the term exotherm. That's a scientific term that relates to the amount of heat that is produced during the curing process of the cover stock material. And when we go out to production, we're talking about, well, what do some of these numbers have? You know, there's a peak temperature, how hot it gets. There could also be the rate for how fast it gets that hot, and then how quickly does it cool down. All of these kinds of factors in the cover stock will have a correlation with some of the different things that really are important to us as far as ball reaction goes, which could be things like oil displacement, for example, or oil absorption. These are a couple of characteristics of the cover stock that are very important and have a big effect on what you see as far as ball motion as the ball is going down the lane. Now that's one of the big things here when we're looking at cover stocks, and sometimes people get tied up, you know, kind of thinking, well, is this good, bad, is it hook more, hook less? Really, when you're looking at a cover stock, you got to look at when does this ball pick up. And the cover stocks that are more aggressive are actually going to hook a little bit sooner and give you a little bit more mid-lane reaction. And when we're looking at ball motion, we're talking about, you know, it's kind of really our perspective, what we see on the lane as the ball goes down the lane. Is it hooking in the right spot? And getting the ball to hook at the right place at the right time is key when you're looking for proper ball motion. Now, you might be thinking here, well, when is Steve going to use his DNA? When does this ball match up best for him? So if we're looking at lane conditions, I'm looking at a condition that has specifically a real high volume of oil. So it could be when the lanes are a little bit fresher. It also works well when the oil pattern is medium and maybe even a little bit longer in length, when I'm trying to get that ball to pick up and read the mid lane and still create enough shape down lane. Now this EXO solid reactive cover stock, yes, it is versatile. It is tunable. We can create some different surfaces with it to match up under different specific circumstances. But with its box finish, you're going to see this ball be, you know, for me, it's one of the strongest balls in my bag in terms of allows me to keep my feet the deepest on the lane, gives me nice traction through that oil that's pretty heavy in the heads and throughout the mid lane, slows down. But as you saw in the shots of the ball going down the lane, still produces ample motion on the back end to produce that optimal pin carry. All right, so with the DNA, now we know that this ball is designed to help slow down, kind of really read the mid lane and help change direction, keep the ball from over skidding. As far as ball motion goes with the Absolute is also a strong ASIM core, but the Absolute has that R2S Deep hybrid cover stock that's designed to glide through the heads, to kind of scoot through the mid lane. So it's going to be much less aggressive and gets to that break point much easier. So for me, when we're looking at difference maybe in alignment on the lanes, typically I'm going to be 6 or 7 boards deeper with my feet with the DNA than I am with the Absolute. Maybe an environment where I've started with my DNA and then all of a sudden I want to kind of stay in the middle of the lane, but my DNA is hooking a little bit too soon, too early, forcing my feet too deep outside of my comfort zone. I can then ball down and go to something that's going to be a little bit cleaner like the Absolute and still get that motion down lane, but it's going to get to the break point so much easier. One of the things that can often be confusing in our sport is trying to look at a bowling ball and trying to determine which one's better. You know, we're looking at a couple of different balls and we're like, oh, I like this one's better than this one's better than that. Well, I can tell you really what it's a matter of is your expectations of what this ball is going to do going down the lane when you're going to use it. It's just really a matter of selecting the right bowling ball for the right purpose.